Pisces, Cancers, and Scorpios, the solar eclipse is upon us. What do you need to know? Because it's going to be intense. Hello all, Stacy the Black Feather Intuitive, and welcome to this special edition of Transformational Tarot for the solar eclipse that is happening on September 22nd. And boy, oh boy, is it going to be an intense one. So what do you need to know? We are going to be pulling cards for you today from the Delusion Tarot from Lunart Designs. I think you're really going to love that deck. It's very pretty. And without further ado, let's get to it. All right, so I've created a spread for us to go deeper. But before I start with the spread, I wanted to just talk to you a little bit about the solar eclipse. Solar eclipse in this season is happening in Virgo, which means that a lot of the issues that we're going to be dealing with in terms of this reset and the grounding are around issues of perfectionism, issues surrounding your day-to-day organization, your scheduling, and the structure of things. It's also affecting your service. Oh, how interesting. This is your card. Wow. Well, it's the Virgo card. So it's the card of the eclipse. I think that's really interesting that just came out there as I was shuffling. That's really cool. So we just went through that lunar eclipse, which was very internal. And now the solar eclipse is giving everyone an opportunity to externalize the work that was done internally. And that's really what this whole thing is about. So what am I releasing from my external world that is no longer serving me or in alignment with where I'm going and growing? So this is about the what are we releasing? All right, water signs, you have the Tower. Wow. So you're releasing a lot of the Uranus moments, the unexpected moments that have happened. I feel like a lot of you have had a really big catalyst in your life that has been, I want to say it's just been all pervasive. And I'm seeing the number 4. I feel like for the last 4 months in particular, you've been really kind of shut down, checked out in a certain aspect of your life, maybe even a little more on the overarching aspect of life. And I feel like you're going to start coming back from that. You're going to start feeling a little more like you're ready to do this thing called life again. And my heart goes out to you guys because I feel like a lot of what is coming up around this is that this catalyst has been really rough. It's been rough emotionally. It's been rough physically. For a lot of you, I'm feeling it's been rough financially. And I feel like this solar eclipse is saying, we're coming out of that now. This has already happened. The catalyst has already happened. You don't have to worry that, something else is going to come. And I feel for a lot of you, that's been the thing. It's been one thing after another, after another, after another. And you're starting to feel like it's Groundhog Day. Am I ever going to get out of this, broken loop? And I feel like the Tower is coming through in terms of the releasing to say, yes, you are. This needed to happen in order for light to be shone on what was not exposed, what you didn't see, what you didn't know was there as a possibility. And now you're stepping into that space of, that Tower is gone, but look at what was underneath of it all. Look at what was under the surface. I had no idea that there was this treasure trove of opportunity. And I would never have known it had I continued to stay in the same space or to trust that the stability of what was here was always going to be here, or was the only thing or the best option. So I definitely feel that this is good news. This eclipse, especially this next 2-week window, which is the peak of this time. We have the eclipse on the 22nd, which is peak energy. And then for 2 weeks after that, you're really working with that energy. And then 6 months after is where this energy is still really, I want to say, churning things up in a positive way on your behalf within your life. So you can trust that the worst is over, and now you can move forward into something that's going to feel a little more comfortable, maybe even a little more aligned for you at this time. What can you benefit greatly from during this solar eclipse? So it's kind of like what, sort of what is the main outcome going to be? What is this eclipse going to bring to you? I love it. You've got the sun card. So the sun shines the light of truth. Sometimes it's a harsh light on things that maybe we didn't want to see, but the sun also brings a lot of hope. It's the dawn of a new day. And that's exactly what I'm seeing in this image. We have the dawning of a new day, and she's standing here, looking over. We don't know what she's looking at, but the feeling that I'm getting here is she's looking at all the things that she's recently gone through. She's being a bit poignant and retrospective. And as the sun is rising on a new day, there's going to be so much more for her to put her focus on. She's going to be able to see the fruits of her labor, or to see the other potentials, the other opportunities that are now presenting themselves, because she's no longer clouded by the smoke of the tower burning down. So I feel like the sun is happening for the world, but this is going to benefit you directly, because it is going to allow you to get unstuck, to move from one place to another, to start to feel life being breathed back into your body. I do feel for a lot of you water signs, there has been, a bit of a heaviness, a bit of a darkness. We all go through those periods where, sometimes life is a little darker than normal, or darker than we would like. And then we have other times where everything is really sunshine and daisies, wine and roses, right? I mean, that's just life, is the ups and downs of it. I feel like the sun is actually bringing the hope, bringing the clarity, bringing the opportunity for you guys. Wow, that feels really good. What wants to be birthed on your behalf during this solar eclipse? Ooh, Knight of Wands. This has been coming up for a lot of the readings. I want to say 3 of the 4 readings, I believe, had Knight of Wands in there. So there's also when that happens, there's also kind of a collective energy here that you're being able to take advantage of. But that Knight of Wands energy is the reignition of passion. And I feel like for a lot of you, I'm using that languaging, it's a reignition of passions that maybe you had to put on the back burner for a while. Maybe they were passions that existed in a previous version of you, and you haven't thought about them for, decades or years. And now all of a sudden, the opportunity is presenting itself in your now, and you're saying, yeah, that feels really good. Let's go ahead with that. I also feel like you're going to be forging a new path. Knights are always about quests. And what I see with this Knight of Wands is that not only is there a desire to, move forward and get to the goal, and to do it with passion and vigor and excitement and momentum, but there's also no fear in terms of if there is no path, I can make a path, right? I have no problems with using my light to see into, the darker regions or the darker corners, so that I can find a new path forward. And I use my spidey senses to guide the way. I feel very much that this is a birthing for you, is coming into your own, trusting your own spidey senses in that regard, trusting your own intuition, trusting your own light. And, when we talk about the sun shining a light on new passions, the Knight of Wands is going to take those passions and run with them. So a new quest, a new journey of light, a new journey, and it's not towards the light, it's of the light. You're going to be bringing the light. And I feel that it is a soul journey that we are talking about, that we are primarily referring to. And it is one that has existed for you in some capacity, but now it's ready to come to life. Now it's ready to be fully realized, and you are ready now to fully realize it. So this leads us right into the next question. Who are you becoming? during this potent time. I really feel like you are the light, but I also want to say you're becoming the light because you're putting more focus and emphasis onto that. Yeah, 10 of Cups. You're becoming the ideal outcome. You're becoming the vision that this is going to provide. So you're on the journey, you're on the path to get there. You are creating as you go, but you also already have the vision in place. And I keep hearing that for a lot of you, something, a seeds that you planted a long time ago and even took some action steps towards bringing that to light, but never following through with it. Now you're going to have follow through. So don't be surprised if there is something that comes up from your past that you had kind of put to bed or forgotten about entirely, or just decided, you know, I've gone as far as I can go and I'm ready to just move on into something else. Well, it's going to be revisited. And I feel like it's ready to be reborn now, and you're ready for it, kind of like what I said with that. I also feel here with the 10 of Cups that there is going to be a resurgence of the confidence within yourself to be in flow. I guess the better way to say this would be you're going to find your flow again. And I feel like you're finding your flow because the sun is finally shining into the depths of the waters that you've been swimming in. You've been craving the sun for so long. Now it is here. And it is going to make things a lot easier to see and to get to the other side of. You were sitting in a bit of a pause. You were in I call it the hanged one, you know, the pregnant pause. You have been there for a while, and there has been a lot of dissonance and a lot of unknown, sitting in the mystery of things. But I feel that mystery is going by the wayside. All right. What do you need to consider to be able to receive all you desire and deserve during this time? Queen of Wands. So this is the word that I'm hearing here is like really stepping into your independence, really getting into that space of no matter what else is going on, I don't really need anyone to be able to take steps towards my dreams. Now, I can be in collaboration with others. I can ask others along the way for help and assistance, but I don't need someone to hold my hand as I walk the path. This feels like the big connection to the Tower moment here. The Tower moment was rough. It was difficult. You struggled. You felt vulnerable. You felt ill-equipped. You felt overwhelmed and underprepared. And that kind of shook your confidence a little bit. Well, here, Queen of Wands is coming up now to basically give you permission. Borrow from this energy, right? Even if you don't have it within yourself, borrow from it. Wear it like a coat. Wear it like a mask. You know, I always say fake it till you make it. Borrow it and feel it as though someone else, you know, what would so-and-so do? That's how I'm going to, you know, sort of step into this for myself. And until I feel it for myself, it's okay to borrow from this. So I feel like the Queen of Wands energy is saying, use my strength, use my independence, use my creative approach to life. It's not that you can't get help from anyone else. It's that you don't need people in the way that right now you think you need people. You're stronger than that, or you're healed from that. Or the lesson in it is to feel all these things and still be able to rely on yourself and lean on yourself to, at the very least, get started. Interesting. All right. How are you to best serve your community and the collective at this time? Oh, sharing your vision, sharing that hope. I feel really strongly here like this is you getting really in touch with the depths of your soul, the actual desires, the real things that you want to experience, the things that you're like, when you're laying in bed at night and you're going, oh my God, like I'm just craving this thing. I'm craving it like at my bones. It's not an addiction craving. It's a yearning. It's a calling to. It's like a call to action. It's in those moments where we recognize, I know I'm destined for something else or something more or something bigger, something deeper. I feel like this is what you want to be sharing with the collective. And I feel like this is a verbal sharing of it. So, you don't necessarily have to shout it from the rooftops if you don't want to, but, having your best friend, or a processor, declaring it. Declaring it means that you've now like cast the spell. It's the same concept as the co-creation, the manifestation. I use the words, and the energy of the words sets the wheels in motion to formulate this, so that this vision, this dream, this yearning can become for me in the physical. Lots of declaration in this time. And if you do want to shout it from the rooftops, by all means, have at it. You do you. It doesn't always have to be that big, but it does need to be, I'm hearing it needs to be out loud, and it needs to be witnessed by someone else. Almost like you can almost think of it like an accountability partner. So you don't need anyone to make these choices, right? You don't need anyone to hold your hand. But you absolutely can share this with someone. And this someone can be your dog or your cat, by the way. You just need to have some level of accountability to another person. And the whole exercise is really about verbalizing that energy into being. That's how that energy becomes. So I feel like you're going to be speaking your dreams into vision. And that's going to help the community, because when you are in that space and that frequency and that energy, that's what gets transmuted and transferred into the collective at large. And all of us feel it. It doesn't have to be direct. It can be indirect. And I feel like that's how you're really going to help the community at this time is indirectly, because you're choosing your path. You're commanding it, you're declaring it, and the rest of the world feels that. So these next 3 cards are an anchor card to help you harness the potent energy, and I'm pulling one for each of the signs. So this is for you, Pisces. This is how you can harness this potent energy of the solar eclipse. We have the 10 of Wands. Releasing the burdens, releasing the expectation that you've had of yourself, or releasing the expectations of others around who you're supposed to be, how you're supposed to walk this path, what you're supposed to be presenting in life. Letting all of that go and stepping instead into the fire of your soul. Again, going to that Knight of Wands. I'm on a new quest. I'm on a new journey. I'm pursuing my own passions, not the passions of everyone else. I'm releasing what has already been, because it's dead, done, gone, and over with. It served its purpose, and now there's almost like this feeling of decay in the body. I'm carrying around all of these things that really don't align with who I am today. And the eclipse is also shifting and changing me as well. And I'm going to be a different version of myself on the other side of it as well. So might as well make the most of that churning energy and just throw out what needs to be thrown out. I feel like this 10 of Wands is going to be extremely supportive for you, because it's not going to let you throw away anything that you need. It's only going to allow you to release what is not, aligned with where you're going. So trust in the process. There may be a couple of things or relationships or jobs or circumstances where you're like, yeah, I'm going to throw this away. I'm tired of it. I don't want to do it anymore. And for whatever reason, the universe blocks your path to that. Listen to that, because the universe is saying, no, you don't need to get rid of it. Maybe we need to tweak the form of it, but you still need it in your life. But you don't have to throw it away. So just, really be in relationship with your high self, with your intuition. Listen to your high guides, because they are going to point, I want to say point you in the right direction. They're going to make sure that you're not throwing everything away. You're always going to have what it is that you need. Cancers, how are you going to be harnessing this potent energy? Interesting. You got the 9 of Wands. So this is the card of control. Cancers, I feel like the best way for you to harness this energy is really by being responsible only to yourself, for yourself. I feel like maybe this was a message that came through for you in a previous reading, but I almost feel like this is coming up to say your responsibility is not everyone else right now. Your responsibility is to you, and you can't control what everyone else does around you. And you can't, quite frankly, really control your own reactions or responses to things if your focus is scattered, if you are depleted in energy, if you are spread too thin. So I feel like the 9 of Wands is asking you to kind of refocus your control, refocus your energy to what you can control. And spoiler alert, the only thing we can control is our response to things, right? We can't control what comes in our path to, for the most part. Life is going to do life. And it's up to us to decide how we choose to engage with life, or in some cases to not engage with it. And I feel like for you Cancers, that's the big ticket here for you, is not worrying about what everyone else is needing, really reshifting the focus to what it is that you need and what it is that you can control. Because I almost want to say it's like it's like soul retrieval. It's like you're taking back those parts of you that you've given away to others, those parts of your energy that you've borrowed, you've lent out to others. Well, now the bill comes due. You're taking them back, right? You're taking all of that back, and you're reconfiguring it so that you have much more clarity around where you stand on firm ground. And now from there, you can be in flow. You can figure out where it is that you want to go. So coming to the end of trying to control too many things and focusing on the one thing that you can control. And everyone else and everything else can figure it out for themselves. It's not like you're leaving people high and dry. You're just taking a little hiatus. And I feel like that's really important for you guys. Scorpios, here's how you can harness this really potent energy. Oh, yeah. Trusting that all good things must come to an end, but all good things must come to an end because there's going to be a new good thing that is taking its place. We get the idea, we always get the idea in our head, a good thing coming to an end must mean that it goes bad. No, I feel like what this is saying is recognize when you're outgrowing a thing. Recognize when the experience has hit its peak. Enjoy its peak, soak it up for everything it's worth, and then be willing to release it and move on. Now, Scorpios, you understand, death and rebirth better than any other sign in the zodiac. So, I'm not saying anything to you that you aren't capable of doing, but having the capability of doing it and having the courage to do it maybe are two different things. Or being able to see it. Sometimes we don't see it when we're in it, right? We're too close to a thing. So I feel like you can really harness this energy by looking at all of the different people, places, and things in your life during this potent time, and determine where you've outstayed your welcome, where you've really enjoyed a thing, and now it's time to let it go so that you can make room for the new that wants to be birthed through you. This is very much a card of creation, that creation energy. It's a 21, which breaks down into a 3. So that is really what's coming up for you here. But you've got to be really intentional about it. And the fact that it is the World card, it's a major arcana for you guys, says that it really is about your overarching themes in life, your overarching life. If you don't do this, you're going to get stuck. If you don't do this, this solar eclipse energy is going to get a bit warped, and it'll take you until the next eclipse season to disentangle what that is. So lean in now. And don't worry, like if you don't really know what that is, ask your guides for help. You know, your guides will help you to see your way through to the other side of that. Okay, and then this is for all of us now. How best can you focus these individual energies? This is the action step that you guys can take. Two of Wands, choosing the path, choosing the direction, not getting hung up on, is it the right choice or the wrong choice? Is it a good path or a bad path? Letting all of that go, closing your eyes, really getting deep with into your core, talking to your soul space and saying, all right, lead me, show me what the best path is. You know, yes, there's choice in this, but there's choice with the head, the ego. There's choice with the heart, following the heart, pursuing the desires and the passions. And then there's allowing the soul to guide you. What are you yearning for? And the soul journey doesn't always tell you what its purpose is or what the outcome is going to be on the other side. The soul just says, let's lean into this. Because sometimes the soul doesn't know how it's going to turn out. The soul wants the experience and wants everything about the experience. So allow the soul to filter these energies through you. Allow the soul to lead the way. All right. So that is our reading for all of the water signs, Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio, for this Transformational Tarot special edition for the solar eclipse on September 22nd. Like I said to you guys, it's going to be intense, but it's also going to be really incredible. And just really focus on being present with all the energies that you feel. That's going to be the big secret. If you guys need a little bit of help getting through any of this, you know where to find me. Otherwise, I'm lifting you all up in love and light, sending so much support your way. We will see you on the flip side, and transform well. That's our show for today. I hope you enjoyed it. It was great to connect with you guys. Please like, subscribe, and comment for more content like this. And feel free to follow me on Blue Sky for even more content every single day. Can't wait to see you guys next week for another installment of Black Feather Couture, Divining the VIP Life.